Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be my favourite Mac products of all time. This is also like a Mac starter kit for some people. I just love everything in here. I've got quite a bit of things, so I might hurry up this intro a little bit. But there are no lipsticks in this video just because I'm planning on doing a lipstick video just by itself. So I can show you guys my all-time favourite high-end lipsticks and maybe do some swatches on my lips. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'm going to start from the order of application. So this product is, and this isn't really an all-time favourite, but it's quite a good primer for those of you who want a MAC primer. I would recommend this, and it is the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base. But it's just like this. It comes in sort of a squeezy tube, and yeah, it just makes your makeup slide on easier or glide on easier. It doesn't slide off your face or anything. So it's an awesome primer. I would recommend it to those of you who want a MAC primer, but I do have to admit there are better primers out there for probably cheaper than what this was. I can't remember how much this actually was, but there are a lot more cheaper products on the high-end side for a primer. Still a great primer. And then onto foundations. I have two foundations, and they're the two foundations I use from MAC, and they are the MAC Studio Fix Fluid and the MAC Pro Longwear. One has SPF 15 and the other SPF 10. So I would recommend the Pro Longwear if you are going to do flash photography, because SPF 10 does not show up in flash photography. This is also the foundation I use in my freelance makeup kit, and I speak very highly for it and would recommend it to anyone. I did not buy the ones for my kit here in Australia. I bought them in Europe when they were when the dollar was a lot cheaper. So yeah, this one does have a slight smell to it, so if you're sensitive to smells, I wouldn't recommend the Studio Fix Fluid. But the Studio Fix Fluid is a heavier coverage than the MAC Pro Longwear, but the Pro Longwear lasts longer and is also buildable to the coverage of the Studio Fix. And the Studio Fix does not come with a pump. It might now, but I had to buy this pump by itself. Whereas the Pro Longwear has this little twisty thing. You've got to be really careful that it doesn't twist on. But yeah, I would recommend both of these foundations to anyone. They suit my skin type, and my skin type is normal oily, but it's really oily, around here. So yeah, and sometimes I get dry patches around my mouth, and it still is awesome. I have, in the Studio Fix Fluid, I have NW15, and in the MAC Pro Longwear I have NC15. And I usually actually will mix the two, and I find that mixing both these two foundations is actually quite a good mix. And because my skin tone's not yellow and it's not pink, the NW is pink toned and the NC is yellow toned, which is weird because it should be the other way around. But yeah, I'm not going to keep talking about this foundation. If you guys want to see my favourite foundations video, I will badger and talk about this for hours. But these two are my favourites. Now onto concealer. The only concealer I do like from MAC is their Pro Longwear concealer. It does crease on me, and it says it has this non-creasing ability. Fuck that. It does not. It does crease on me, but it does, I think you might put too much on and then it just sort of creases and cakes. So that might be the problem, but on me it just does crease. But all concealers crease. And I've actually learnt to pump out the right amount. Sometimes I don't even pump out enough. So and I haven't used that much, but I like this concealer. It's a great concealer for everyday wear. And yeah, now on to setting powders. And in this little palette thing here, it's a C palette, I have my Pro Shaping Powder in Light Sweep, and this is my favourite MAC setting powder for underneath the eyes. I do have like Soft Focus and Emphasize, and they're great. You just have to mix the two. This one's quite good but just by itself, and it just sort of makes it not crease or anything. And then I've got MAC Pro Sculpting Powder in Sculpt, and this is a great contour shade. And yeah, you can't really bronze with this just because it doesn't have that bronzing ability, but it's a great contouring powder. And so yeah, these two are really great together, and not my favourites of my bronzing and contouring powders and setting powder, but they're good from MAC, and I would recommend them to anyone who wants a setting powder from MAC for like underneath their eyes or a contour. But if you want a bronzer, I would stick away from that. I don't know if MAC do a good bronzer. Haven't looked into that one yet. And then a great setting powder, like face setting powder, is the MAC Studio Fix powder. And I have C2, and this is just what I carry with me every single time I go out and I've got like a full face of makeup on, because I do blow my nose a bit, and around here can get very patchy or it can come off, or I can get oily around here, so I just carry this with the little puff or sponge in the back for my nose, and then I carry it with a kabuki brush if I get too oily. So yeah, that's why I got this, and it's just great. Sometimes I'll even use this to make my foundation look more heavier, if that's a word. But like, yeah, I know heavy is a word, but that didn't really make sense. But yeah, hopefully you guys know what I mean. Now I'm just gonna go to blushes. I've got 5 blushes here, but this is like the one thing that I would recommend any blush from MAC. They are my all-time favourite blushes. I think I've got, let me just count them. Okay, I have 15 MAC blushes. So that's a bit of obsessive, and they're all quite similar in colour, and I don't go towards a lot of them, but they're all like a browny dark colour, but they all are really great, and they're all really pigmented, and I love them. This one here is a sheer tone blush. There's sheer tone blush, sheer tone shimmer blushes, and matte blushes. I think there's like frost blushes, but I don't have those. And I have one mineralized blush as well, and that's in Warm Soul, and that looks quite nice on me. People say it has a pinky undertone. I don't think it does, to be completely honest. I think it's more like gingerly, and like this is gingerly, and it's just a sort of like a brownie colour. But yeah, this is a sheer tone blush, and warning, don't ever put like disinfectant wipes over it, because it comes out with like marks and stuff on it. But this is still a great product, and also pressed powders don't hold bacteria. Yeah, this is a great sort of browny gingery colour, probably because it's gingerly, but that's a great colour. And then I've got Pinch Me, and this is just a mauve pink colour, similar to what I've got on my cheeks today, but I don't have a MAC blush on my cheeks today. But that's that one. And then I've got Desert Rose, which is a rosy mauve colour. Oh, and this is a matte blush. Pinch Me is a sheer tone blush. And then I've got Peaches here, and this is just like a peachy colour, similar to Modern Mandarin, but Modern Mandarin's a bit darker and a bit oranger, and I do also have that. I like that colour. You just have to find the certain place to wear sort of different blushes. Some blushes you can't wear with some looks. And next blush is Melba, and this is like a cool tone mauve blush, or like a neutral tone. This goes with every single look that you can possibly do. and yeah, it's just like a light colour. That was 5. I do have one more blush, and it is Mocha. This is a matte blush, and I think Melba's a matte blush as well. It's just sort of like a dark rosy colour. I'm not very good at describing colour. My best advice to you is look up online to what colour the blush that you want is. Like if you want like a certain colour blush, like a pink, rosy pink blush, then look up that and it should have it in that. That makes sense. Just go on the MAC website, look at the colours, look at what the colour, click on the blush that you think you like the colour of, and it usually comes up with the name of the colour. Like Mocha is a rosy dusty pink colour. I don't know. Anyway, I love the MAC blushes. I would recommend them to anyone. They last a while, like a long time. And they do also have cream blushes from MAC. I've never tried their cream blushes just because I've never been a cream blush person. First cream blush I ever bought was like a few weeks ago, and that was NYX blush. So yeah, on to highlighters now. And the first one is this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Lightscapade. And this is just a natural everyday highlight. It's got some gold, peachy, blue, purpley tones in it to give that sort of everyday highlighted look. I'm not wearing it today, but it sort of looks like this one. Because these are like a baked blush, or like a baked, they have a lot of product in them, last a while. So they're a great investment, and yeah, I would recommend it to anyone who wants one. Next one is another mineralized skin finish, and it's in Soft and Gentle. And you hear so much good stuff about this online. This goes with any skin color I can imagine. Like, it would go with someone really light or someone really dark. It's like different to some of the other MAC mineralized skin finish that they do have. Lightscapade is good, but probably wouldn't match someone who's really dark, but Soft and Gentle will. Soft and Gentle would probably look like Lightscapade on someone who's really, really dark. Now for mascara, this is only like a small version of a mascara from MAC, and this is the MAC False Lashes Extreme Black Mascara. And it's just a great mascara. It makes your eyelashes look like this pretty much. This is how the lashes look because I used this today. And I would recommend this mascara, but there are a lot of cheaper mascaras. This was like £10, so $20. So it is quite expensive for something really small, but I just wanted to try a MAC mascara and I love it. And yeah, I recommend it to anyone who wants a MAC mascara. But there are a lot of cheaper, better, more affordable, still good mascaras from the drugstore. So yeah, it's up to you guys if you want a MAC mascara. I would say get it if you want it. If you don't want it, don't get it. If you're worried about spending so much money on a mascara, then don't. But I love it. And yeah, now on to soft like eyes. This is my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. It's just a paint pot that it's like a cream base for your lids. This is just in a skin color, and Soft Ochre is a yellowy skin undertone, and it's like they've got Painterly, which is a pale, I wouldn't say it's a yellow, I like a pink undertone, but it is different to Soft Ochre. I do have Painterly in my kit and I love it, and I can never do a look, like a makeup look, without Soft Ochre on myself or Painterly on clients. So it's my one thing I would say, if you want one thing from MAC, get the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot or the Painterly, whichever one. I do have two others. I've got like rub sponges, I don't know It's like a sparkly duochrome pinky corally colour. I like that one. If you don't want to do much of a makeup look, that's a good one to put on. And I have Groundwork, which is like a brown one, and that's also really good. And yeah, so I would recommend to get the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, or a paint pot at all from MAC, and then like a blush from MAC, so you guys can see how they are, so you guys can see why I have so many. And then I would get either the foundation, concealer, or a mineralized skin finish. And then if you really want to splurge on eyeshadows, I would recommend getting the MAC eyeshadows. I've got 3 MAC eyeshadow palettes. It's weird, it feels like it's shaking. And yeah, I would recommend getting MAC eyeshadows. I love them, they're so buttery and creamy and so pigmented. But you can get eyeshadows like this from in toothpaste chocolate bar palette, or the Urban Decay Naked palettes, or anything like the Chi Chi palettes. They're just as good. But I do love, or like Makeup Geek, they're just as good as MAC eyeshadows. If you want MAC eyeshadows, I recommend getting them. I love soft brown, blank type. I'm pretty sure these are the names, I can't remember. I love Coppering. It's not sort of a colour that you would recommend, like I would say buy it as your first one, but it is a good eyeshadow from MAC. I recommend Down Brown. Corduroy, it was my first ever MAC eyeshadow and I love it. This gold one, Gold Mine. And I would recommend buying like Bronze and Carbon for a nice black. Ooh, Satin Taupe. And then there's like Sable, Saddle, and like those ones. Or that Glitters is a good one as well. But, and like Nylon is a great highlight, but it's like a goldy highlight. So they're great eyeshadows. I would recommend MAC eyeshadows to anyone, but here in Australia I think they're like $28 just for the pan or something, and like $33 for the compact. I also would recommend buying the pan, not the compact. Even though you don't get the whole back to MAC thing, I would recommend the pan, not the compact, just because pans you can like put in palettes or Z palettes. When compacts, you either have to depot them, and then you can do the whole back to MAC thing with the depotted things, or you just leave them and they sort of go everywhere. That is up to you guys. That's what I recommend, but it might not be what you guys want. But also MAC eyeshadows they're the best. I find they're great, but you can find cheaper alternatives to them, and they're not always the best. Some people find some MAC eyeshadows can be chalky. I haven't had that experience just yet, but you never know. Now, moving on to lip liners. Oh no, there's an eyeliner here. The eyeliner is the MAC Kohl Power Eye Pencil in Feline. It's just a nice black, and I've got it in my waterline today. It does stay, but not for too long, so it's kind of iffy if you want to use it or not, but if you want to buy it or not, I do recommend it. It's great. I probably would recommend it more for the lid, like the upper lash line, not the waterline, or even the lower lash line, just not the waterline or your tight line. And these are 4 MAC lip liners, and you can tell that Whirl is my favourite lip liner here because it's the smallest one. And then I've got Night Moth, which is a nice dark purple colour. Spice, which I've got on my lip line today. It's a great My Lips But Better colour, and it goes with every nude because I'm not a big whole nude person, so that's always good. And then we've got Soar, which is just like a nice mauve purple colour. And you've got a dark purple, a pinky brownie colour, a brown Lips But Better colour, and a mauvey pink colour. Yep, and they're for lip liners, and I love MAC lip liners. They're pretty much all I actually have is MAC lip liners, but yeah, I would recommend them to anyone, and yeah, they're still great lip liners. I've never found a better lip liner out there that's like cheap, but I haven't done much searching for one, so yeah. But I do love MAC lip liners. They're so creamy, buttery, and then a final product is the MAC Fix Plus. You just spray it, and it makes, ooh, it tastes weird. It just makes your makeup, doesn't make your makeup stay longer, just makes the powders settle into the face, makes your makeup sort of look better. There's nothing about it making your makeup last longer. That's just not what it is. It's a Fix Plus water that will like help with your makeup, and you can spray it on your brushes to make them wet, and like for eyeshadows you can spray it on your eyeshadow, make the eyeshadow stick and like look foiled and stuff like that. Or you can spray it on your foundation brushes and it makes your foundation sort of go on sheerer. So Fix Plus, awesome. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's it for my favourite MAC products. I hope this video is not too long for you guys, but this is just something I wanted to show you guys. It might be like a MAC starter kit. Show you guys my opinions on what I find is good at MAC. It might not be what you guys think is good at MAC, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys.